All right, guys, welcome to the video. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit about something that me and Cameron are working on, a little bit, some new stuff that we're doing. And we're going to talk about where we're going forward. It's going to be a free video series. We're going to teach you a little bit something about our online business that we really haven't revealed as of yet. So the first thing we're going to talk about is we're done. We'll move on to that, and then we're going to do a big reveal that I'm really, really excited about, like big weight lifted off my shoulders. I think most of you know, but we'll go through it anyway and go through the whole story. So we'll get to that second. But first of all, me and Cameron are moving on. I love working with Cameron. He's a very, very close friend of mine, and I'm going to be working with him for a very, very long time, just not in the capacity that we're doing right now. And that doesn't mean we're not going to be partners. We are. We're just not going to be doing the same types of things. We are both sick and tired of the $17 video course thing on Warrior Plus. That's not to say we're completely done right now, because we do have a couple of things that we still have to get done in that space. But we are moving on from that quickly. We will be done with that, I would say probably by the end of the summer, maybe another month or so. But then we're going to be moving on to bigger and better things, in our opinion. We're going to be doing some podcasting, which I know we talked about last year. And we actually recorded 20 episodes last year. And the problem with what we were doing last year is that we didn't have the support from the podcasting community. Well, we had support for the podcasting community, not as much as we felt comfortable with. We wanted more of the bigger names kind of on our side and looking out for us and supporting us before we pushed forward, because we want to launch a podcast. We want it to be the #1 podcast. We want to launch. We want to top iTunes. We want to blow everybody out of the water. In order to do that, you need support from other people. So now we have that support from a lot of different people, both in the podcasting community and outside of the podcasting community. So we feel it's time to do that. We're going to begin recording next week, I believe Monday or Tuesday. And we're going to be focusing mainly on business stuff, obviously, a lot of business stuff, and also a lot of personal development stuff, because that's something that we're both very, very interested in and we know a lot about, but we don't talk about it much. You know, a number of different things, but that's really what we're going to be focusing on. We are going to have a lot of our content on there, so you hear a lot from us, but we're also going to do a lot of interviews as well. So that's going to be coming up shortly. And the other cool thing about our podcast, I don't want to get too deep into it because it's kind of still, a work in progress type deal. We're kind of still, putting together the final touches on it. But we are going to be taking some of our students and bringing them on the show as well to share their results and their feedback and what they've done and, just their story, just a regular interview, and that'll help them build their audience as well. So that's going to be kind of cool too. We're also going to be doing a lot of bigger launches. Not really in size, meaning bigger audience, but bigger, higher ticket stuff. We want to get into doing live events. We want to be able to, get a hotel in Chicago or New York or California or Florida or, maybe on a gun range in Texas if it was up to both of us and only us. We want to start doing that, though. We want to do 3 or 4 day events, intensive training where we can get a group of 50, 100 people together and really work through their businesses. Not only on a group basis, but, time with each one of us individually, one-on-one, so we can do that. But that's obviously going to be a bigger ticket item, and it's going to be a different type of deal. We're not talking about that now. That's totally, probably at least 6 months out, I would think, before we even start to plan it. We're just thinking about it now, and that's something that we definitely want to do. And obviously, we're going to be continuing with our offline business as well. I mean, that's what we do for a living every day. We also are going to be continuing with Franchise Machine, and we're going to be continuing with offline class. People are still in that. And we are going to have a new 8-week training program that is going to be structured completely differently than what the other 2 were. And that's something also that is still in the works, so I'm not really going to talk about it all that much, but I will tell you this. It's not going to be an offline training. It's going to be an online training. And teach you guys more about the information side of the business and how we built our information empire in 18 months from literally nothing to 7 figures. I don't know the exact number because Cameron does all the numbers. He's the smart one. But that's what we're going to be teaching you guys over that 8-week training program. And again, that's not even, it's in the works, but it's not we'll talk about that when the time comes. The other cool thing about the new 8-week training program is that it's going to be 8 weeks. It's going to be more intensive one-on-one stuff. It's going to be a lot more Q&A. We're going to get back to the Q&As. We stopped that for a while, but we're going to get back to it. And it's going to be cheaper than the last ones that we've done. So that's going to be cool. So when we get to that, we'll talk about it, but that's not for right now. All right, so that's where we're going, and I'll talk a little bit about more in depth about that stuff as it comes up. Okay, now the big reveal. My real name is Kenny Cannon, and I'm sure most of you knew that already. But I felt the need, and Cameron also felt the need, that it was time that we talk about that. You know, because we're going to be doing podcasts. We're going to be, you know, we're looking into like writing books and doing speaking engagements and doing live events. And I need to be who I am if I'm going to do that stuff, right? We both agreed on that. Now, here's what you have to understand. I'm going to tell you why we did the Mario thing, and then I'll tell you a little bit about the story. Okay, so first of all, the Mario thing is straight up Warrior Forum stuff. That's the only reason why it went that way. I had a big problem. Actually, didn't have a big problem, but he thought it was a big problem with one of the administrators on the forum. I'm not going to mention his name, Paul Myers, but it's one of the biggest, you know, big people on the forum. And basically what happened back in 2007 or 8 or something like that, I launched a product by myself, and he said that it violated the terms of service of something or whatever, or there was something wrong with it. And I said to him, well, listen, you know, I'm kind of new here. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. A buddy of mine, Johnny Andrews, told me to do this. I did it, and yeah, I don't know what it was. If I'm doing something wrong, I'm sorry, but it kind of looks like every other product on here is violating the terms of service of whatever the hell they're teaching too. So if you're going to like stop the payments on mine, you should probably stop the payments on theirs as well. I'm paraphrasing. He came back to me. I'm the administrator. You're not going to tell me. And that's when I'm like, dude, listen, I've lost more money than you've made in your life. So, and you know how I am. Shut up. Stop talking to me. And I just cursed the guy out, and that was the end of it. Comes back to me, says something else. Then I made fun of his cowboy hat. And that's what pushed him over the edge. Now, childish and stupid, yes. We both agree on that. I apologized to the guy probably about 35 times since that happened, and he still won't forgive me. So I have always felt that, and you guys may agree, may disagree, I have no idea. I have always felt that I have information that is valuable to that audience. I always felt that I can help that audience. And I always felt that I came at things with a different, first of all, definitely different personality than almost anyone else out there. I teach a lot differently. I talk differently. I present differently. But the content is different. It's not the same old garbage that you see over and over again. One of the last things that people will ever accuse me of is taking somebody else's stuff and just redoing it. That doesn't happen. Okay, I do stuff on my own way, and I test it out before I use it, and Cameron is the same way. So I always felt that I had a lot of value that I could add to that audience, and because of that, I made a commitment to myself and the people that I were, partners and outsources, the company that I had at the time, and the audience, that I was going to continue to launch the products, and I was going to continue to provide that value and continue to put out the content, whether the administrator on the forum had a problem with it or not. So that went very, very well for a couple of years. I was launching a lot of products on the Warrior Forum. Some of them you've all heard of before because they were some of the most successful product launches on the forum. And I've been involved with a lot of people that launched products in there as well that I wasn't part of at all. Like I would just write the copy, or I would consult them on how to do it and all that. Then I got childish and stupid again. Because sometimes, listen, you got to have fun sometimes, right? You gotta. Sometimes you got to have fun. Sometimes you got to laugh. Sometimes you got to be an idiot. And that's just my entertainment, right? So there were times where I would launch a product under an assumed name, sell the living hell out of it. Feedback on the forum was absolutely amazing. And then at the end of the training, I would have one video that was like, hey, it's me again, Paul. And I would like give him the finger and everything. And that just kind of like getting under his skin a little bit. But again, childish and stupid, but sometimes you just got to have fun. Like if he had a sense of humor, he would have been like, yeah, that guy's an idiot, whatever. It's funny, stupid. And it would have just been like, oh, but it didn't happen. So over the course of time, I ended up working with some of the biggest internet marketers in the world. I launched a product together with Mike Phil Same. It's called. He was a very, very good friend of mine. He moved to San Diego now, so I don't really talk to him all that much anymore. But he was in the car business when I was in the car business, and he was local to me. He was very close to me, and I had a key to his office. I knew the passcode. I used to hang out with him all the time, and knew everyone that worked there. We launched a product called Launchpad System together, which is about launching WSOs. And you guys can look it up. I don't think it's for sale anymore, but it's on the internet. I mean, you can find it somewhere. And a lot of it doesn't apply anymore, but you can see how me and Mike work together, kind of like the way me and Cameron work together. Now, he's a very, very good person. You know, there's a lot of you guys hear me all the time bashing a lot of the internet marketing crowd. And although I don't really like a lot of the products that he might have put out, because for me they weren't very valuable, he's a great person. And, you know, he's someone that I would go to any length to help at any time. He's a very, very good guy. So that's pretty much that. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys, just so we're clear, my story is real. The only thing about me that was different is the name. I started cold calling when I was 15 years old here on Long Island. I sold cell phones, VoiceStream Wireless, a town called Brentwood, New York. Don't remember the company name, or else I'd tell you, and you could look it up. But I sold it was a distributor for VoiceStream Wireless, telemarketed with them for 4 weeks. Guy never paid us. I killed it. Guy never paid us. Went into Stratton, cold called for a very, very long time there. Well, actually, I only cold called for 4 weeks at that firm, but I cold called for a long time in the stock business because that firm got shut down right when I got there. We moved on to a company called Duke, and then I moved on to a company called Tassin and Company. You can all look up online and see it. Tassin and Company was on Hauppauge, New York. Got my license at Tassin and Company when I was 18 years old. Got my Series 7 when I was 18, 63, which is a licensing exam. Right after that, probably about 2 weeks later, and then ended up getting a 24 license with General Securities Principal. A couple years after that, left the business in 2000, right around 9/11 time, because our company headquarters was in the World Trade Center. It got destroyed. So it was just after that, maybe early 2002. Left the business, went into the mortgage business with the same group of people, still working with this, core Stratton people at that time. Went into the mortgage business and did that for a few years. Went into the car business by myself. Did that for 2 years. Blew up there. Then went in and started my own company in 2007. I've been consulting and launching information since 2007. Okay, so everything that I've told you guys from the time we started together is 100% true. The only thing is the pseudonym that I've used over that time. And I'm pretty sure that most of you were aware of that. Okay. I'm going to give you a lot of information, more information about me, because I would love absolutely one of the toughest things for me, and I think this is one of the reasons why I hate it so much, because I do hate this stuff that we do. Honestly, I do. I despise it. It's the worst thing ever. But I think one of the reasons why I hate it so much is because I have no connection to you guys at all, because of the Mario thing, and that really, really bothers me. So in this video, I'm going to give you some of my information. Like you'll have my Facebook account, you'll have my Twitter account. You'll be able to contact me and reach out to me, and we'll become, maybe friends is weird. I don't know if it is or not. Maybe to you it is. But like we can connect. We can get on Skype and talk. And just like if you want to talk business, we'll talk business. If you want to just hang out for a couple minutes and ask me a question, that's cool. Maybe I'm going to ask you a question. Hopefully that's cool with you too. Like I want that kind of relationship with the audience. That's always what I've wanted, and I was never able to have it because I always had to hide who I really was, because of that one stupid incident 7 years ago and one idiot who wouldn't forgive me about it. So it is what it is. So let's go through some of this. That's me on 4th of July, working on my tan, as I was telling everyone that was there, which is kind of like a little bit of a joke because I'm white as a ghost and I've always been forever. And if I'm in the sun for more than 10 minutes without sunscreen, I have sunburn all over. So that's me just hanging out by the pool. That's me fishing. I love to fish. You guys know that. I tell you guys that all the time. That's me on the beach. I think that was last year. I think it was last fall, out in Montauk or out east somewhere. Got me, but missed the fish. Only got about half the fish. And that's me just random picture driving to a meeting. I forget when it was. I want to show you this quick video. I have 2 videos in here for you. One of them, this one here, this is Cameron's favorite video of me, and it's basically me almost killing myself fishing out in Montauk on a rock. And this is kind of cool because you guys can actually see this stuff. If you go on Google Earth, I want to show you something. If you go on Google Earth and you look up the Montauk Lighthouse, you go on Long Island, just look all the way out east. You can see the lighthouse in Montauk. If you look right down to the right on the south side of Montauk, you're going to see this big square thing. That's exactly where I was standing. So it's cool because you can actually, you can look it up and you can see the rocks that I was standing on. But I want to just show you this quick. I hope I'm getting the audio of this. I don't know if I am. So basically what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get on a rock and stand on a rock so I can cast out into this area. This is where the water really comes together. There's a big rip in front of me and there's some bluefish sitting out there. And what happens is, I'll just let it play out from this point on and you'll see. Okay, so I got wiped out by a wave. That happens all the time, but that's the only time I ever got it on my GoPro. And Cameron loves it. Everyone I've ever showed it to, they think it's like the funniest thing ever. I really hurt myself in that video, though. I had a very, very bad cut on my leg, and I didn't know it at the time because I had a wetsuit on and I really couldn't see. And I ended up fishing another probably 3.5 hours with a huge cut on my leg, and I did some, like I chipped my shin a little bit. But I was back out there like 3 days later, bandage on my leg, just ready to go. And the next one I wanted to show you too, I always talk about, me and Cameron always talk about how we love to shoot. So I have a little video here of me ripping some rounds through a custom 1022 that I built. And it's actually my mom filming this one. It's out in Calverton, New York. Okay, I went through that a little quickly, but that's not an automatic weapon, just so you guys know. Semi-automatic 1022. I was just pulling the trigger really fast, just rapid firing it. I just wanted to see how it reacts because I don't do that very often. Okay, so connecting with me. You see on your screen here, this is my Facebook account and my Twitter account. It's facebook.com/KennyCannon98, and my Twitter is Kenny Cannon. If you go on those two things, though, you're not going to see much business stuff. You're going to see a lot of stuff from my family. You're going to see a lot of me talking about hockey and shooting and fishing and some bowling stuff and stuff with my daughter and just hanging out, you know. And that's just how I am. Like, I love business and I love sales and I love business development and I love working with companies and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, when it comes to Facebook and Twitter and stuff online, I just want to be me. You know, I just want to talk about what I really love to do, which is my hobbies and stuff. So, you know, you can connect with me, but don't expect, you know, the Zig Ziglar quote every day, because you're just not going to get that. You're going to get like stupid jokes every once in a while. You're going to get stupid videos every once in a while, and you know, a lot of other stuff. But it's a good place to connect with me. We can talk, we can chat, we can hang out. And my Skype too, I didn't put it on here. My Skype name is just Kenny Cannon, one word. So all of you can feel free to add me on Skype. I would love to, you know, hang out with any one of you and talk to you. And you can just, if you have any questions for me, you can ask me. If you just want to hang out for a couple minutes, that's totally cool too. Completely up to you. But I would love to connect with any and all of you, you know, in any way possible. So, as I was talking about before, where are we going and why are we finally revealing who I really am? Well, like I said before, we're going to be moving into podcasting, which is something that I'm very passionate about, and so is Cameron. It just took a while for us to get together. It took a while for us to get the support that we need. So we're going to go there, and obviously if we're going to do that, I'm going to use my name, right? The Mario thing is a warrior form thing. Podcasting, I got to be who I am, right? We're going to get into books, probably. We're talking about that. We're thinking about that. We're going to get into some software launches. We're going to be creating software that helps people build their companies. Big-time stuff, sellable stuff, big-time assets. We're going to be building that stuff out. And, again, you know, for that, it's got to be me. And we're also going to be doing the events, things like that. So we're planning all that stuff out. That's what we're planning on doing in the future. And some of that stuff is starting right away. So what we're going to be doing here over the next couple of days, actually, we're getting this out a little bit late. So it's going to be today and tomorrow, okay? What we're going to be doing is we're going to be sharing with you our online funnel, because we're really not going to be using it all that much anymore. And we want you guys to take what we've done on the Warrior Forum, on Warrior Plus, other places, and you guys can very easily replicate this stuff. It doesn't have to be internet marketing related material either. If you wanted to do, you know, a gardening thing or like whatever, it doesn't really matter. You could go ahead and do that by using this funnel, and we're going to teach you how to do all that stuff, okay? So what I want you to do is, if you want to learn about the funnel and you want to get it, click the button below, and we're going to send you out at least one more video, probably 2 of them. So what I want to do, we are getting this out late because we had a major project that just got thrown on our plate that we had to do very quickly for a client. So this is getting out late. But what I want to try to do is give you guys this video today, which is Saturday, which I'm going to mail it out as soon as I'm done with it. Then maybe tomorrow morning, give you a peek inside of our funnel so that you guys can see it, you know, just like drawn out so you guys can check it out. Then what I wanted to do is give you guys a results video on some of the results that our students have seen, not necessarily us. You guys can, I'll go through our results too, but that really is meaningless, I think, to you guys, because what matters to you is our ability to take someone who is nobody, zero income, well, not zero income, but zero income online, no list, no name, no product development experience, and launch a product in a week and make 30 grand. That's what matters to you guys. If we can do that, we can do it for you guys as well. You know, for us, we have a big list at Aweber. We created, you know, thousands of videos, and we know what we're doing. So for us, it's easy. We can do it in our sleep. But if we take someone like Lee, brand new, no experience, we launch a product with Lee, it does 30 grand. Without our support, just our help, but without our list support, does $30,000 in, I think, 7 days. And that process is repeatable. We can do that with anybody. And I want to share those results with you. So definitely this video today, definitely the funnel video tomorrow. And I want to try my best to get out the results video tomorrow night as well. I'll see if I can do that. If I can't do that, though, I will mail it to you within the next couple of days. You will get it one way or the other. I just don't know if it's going to be tomorrow. Okay, so click the button below, put just your email address in, and we're going to just mail you that stuff, nothing else, just the stuff pertaining to this. And you'll get it today and over the next couple of days. All right, that is it. If you have any questions at all, you can feel free to shoot Cameron an email. Or now, finally, thank God, the weight is lifted off my shoulders and I can actually say this. You can write me an email at kennycannon@gmail.com. It's my name at gmail.com. You can write me an email there and I will answer it personally. I answer every email that comes in. You can also contact me on Facebook with the link I gave you, and you can ask me a question there if you want. You can also connect with me on Skype, and you can ask me a question on there if you want. The only thing that I ask you to do is just understand that my time is valuable, and I, you know, just try to be, you know, you guys get it. You're adults. So do that, okay? Click the button below. Get the rest of the stuff. If you have any questions at all, contact me, contact Cameron, contact both of us, whatever you want to do. It's up to you, all right? But definitely click the button, get your email address in there, get the rest of the stuff. You're going to love it. It's going to be really, really valuable to you. It's going to really help you, especially if you're someone who's interested in building an online business, which I think most of you are, okay? So that's it. Click the button below, get the rest of the stuff, and we'll talk tomorrow in video number 2.